Today we are discussing about mobile computing, the basics of mobile computing. In this module, the topics to be covered are introduction to communication technologies, mobile handsets, wireless communication and server applications, components of a wireless communication system, architecture of a mobile telecommunication system, wireless standards, wireless local area networks or wireless LAN, WLANs. And the last topic is Bluetooth technology. Here, Bluetooth Low Energy or BLE and Near Field Communication or NFC is being discussed. Basics of communication technologies. Mobile computing that refers to the computational task performed by a mobile user with a smartphone. Here, computing. Computing is the process of using computer technology to complete a given goal oriented task. In mobile computing, the computing with the help of mobile phones or smartphones. That is, mobile computing is human computer interaction in which a computer is expected to be transported during normal usage, which allows for the transmission of data, voice, and video. Mobile computing involves mobile communication, mobile hardware, and mobile software. Hardware includes mobile devices or device components. So, this is the complete idea of mobile computing. When we look into mobile computing, it is a resource constrained device. It will be having very limited processing power and memory. Also, the battery backup is also low. Cannot carry heavyweight computations. By using a small handheld device like a small smartphone, you cannot perform or carry out any heavyweight computations like scientific calculations, floating point operations, etc. Mobile computation involves invocation of applications running on remote servers through wireless communication. As a simple example, you are accessing Gmail from your mobile phone. So you are accessing a remote server, that is Gmail, that is situated, or the actual server will be situated somewhere in some remote locations in India or some other countries. But you are accessing those information from your mobile phone. So it's a simple example for such application. Basics of communication technologies include cell phone system, different types of telecommunication networks, computer networks like controller area network, local area network, then the collection of several LANs, that is internetwork or internet. Another thing is its architecture, local area network architecture, just like the topologies like ring, mesh, star topology, etc. A cell phone system that includes a cellular network or mobile network, that is a communication network where the last link is wireless. That is, your mobile phone is connected to a tower without a physical medium. It is a wireless connection. The network is distributed over land areas called or geographical areas called cells, each served by at least one fixed location, transceiver or tower. But more normally, three cell sites or base transceiver stations are formed that we will discuss later. So that is the basics of cell phone system. When we talk about types of telecommunication network, two main types of phones are used in modern society. The analog based fixed line telephones and the satellite based cellular phones. Fixed line telephones were first established as a telecommunications network in the late 1800s using a complex system of wires placed around the world. Telecommunication is the communication at a distance using electrical signals or electromagnetic waves. For say examples of telecommunication systems are telephone network, the radio broadcasting system, computer networks, and the internet itself is considered as telecommunication network. Just like the computer networks, for example, ARPANET, Ethernet, Internet, wireless network, all these are communicated as telecommunication network. Then some other networks like public switched telephone networks or PSTN, you might have heard about this, and packet switched network, radio network, etc. In the third point, computer networks, here we have discussed only controller area network and LANs and the collection of LANs, that is internet. So here we can include MANs, metropolitan area network, WANs or wide area network and its collection. So all type of networks are considered as telecommunication network because we are using these types of network for communication. So for transferring some files from one place to another, or that may be any type of resources, that may be a voice clip or voice notes or videos, anything. And here each and every LAN or WAN is having its own architecture. Some topologies define the architecture just like ring topology, mesh topology, star topology, etc. A mobile handset or mobile system consists of mobile handset, wireless communication, and some applications that may be client application or server application. Without a server application, client may not work properly. So a communication system with using mobile phones or mobile communication system must be having some hardware devices like handset, then a particular infrastructure, that is a wireless communication network, and some applications, client as well as server applications must be there. So here wireless communication, wireless networking, terrestrial radio system, satellite radio system, cellular communication technology, these are the things we are going to discuss. First one is wireless communication. Wireless communication is the transfer of information between two or more points that do not use an electrical conductor as a medium by which to perform the transfer. For example, you are communicating with your friend by using two mobile phones. One is with you and the other one is with your friend, and you are transferring some files using Bluetooth or Wi-Fi technology. So that is a wireless communication. So there will not be a physical medium for communication between two endpoints. Then what about wireless networking? A wireless network is a computer network that uses wireless data connections between network nodes. Examples of wireless network include cell phone network, wireless LANs or wireless local area networks, wireless sensor networks, satellite communication networks, and terrestrial microwave networks, etc. Here, the things which in networking, a wired networking does, is also performed using wireless networking. So wireless networking is a method by which homes, telecommunication networks, and business installations avoid the costly process of introducing cables into a building or as a connection between various equipment locations. So wirelessly we are connecting together and doing some task, that is wireless networking. The infrastructure is being implemented using wireless connection points. There will not be physical connections between two endpoints. The next thing is terrestrial radio system. Terrestrial radio, it is a transmission medium and it is attractive when the terrain does not permit laying of cables. To cover hilly areas, areas separated by lakes, rivers, etc., are connected using terrestrial radio communication mechanism. Terrestrial radio is used for local loops and trunks. To avoid digging up the roads, even in urban areas, radio systems are being used. On the other hand, there is satellite radio system. A satellite radio service works by transmitting its signal from a ground-based station to one or more satellites orbiting the Earth. The satellite bounces the signal back to specialized receivers on the ground, commonly located in automobiles and home on your own building. By using dish antennas, we are receiving those signals. Then comes cellular communication technology, a technology that has revolutionized the human society and impacted almost everybody is the cellular communication technology. Cellular communication is a form of communication technology that enables the use of mobile phones. Each cell is allocated a given number of frequencies or channels that allow a large number of subscribers to conduct conversations simultaneously. So that is the advantage of cellular communication technology or cellular communication. Mobile phones or cell phones use radio waves to communicate. Radio waves transport digitized voice or data in the form of oscillating electric and magnetic fields called electromagnetic field or EMF. Radio waves carry the information and travel in air at the speed of light. Cell phones transmit radio waves in all directions. Likewise, a cell phone or mobile phone is communicating with the nearest tower located in your cell or geographical cell area. Here is some information about cellular telephony. Cellular telephony is based on radio frequency communications. A cellular communication system divides the service area into different geographic zones called cells. So already here it is specified that cellular telephony is based on radio frequency communication, keep in mind. And cellular communication system divides the service area into geographical zones called cells that we will discuss later. The figure number is specified there anyway, we will discuss it later. So each cell can support a certain maximum number of simultaneous user connections. Consequently, more cells are required per unit area in cities because the number of mobile phone users will be high when comparing with a village. Because of more people dwelling in cities and hence more number of simultaneous calls occurring per unit area. Each user has a mobile handset that has its own radio transmitter and receiver antenna to establish connection to the local base station. The base station in turn connects to a switching center. The switching center acts as a middleman between two mobile handsets and establishes connections between them when requested. As a user moves from one place to another, his call is handled by the switching center of the base station located in another cell site, thus providing a consistent high quality signal. When a user travels outside his home network, he can still make calls. This is possible by a facility called roaming or roaming service, and it works because the base station in the local cell is connected by wires with all other networks. This makes it possible for a user to get his call almost anywhere. If someone dials a user's number, the network finds him and gives him a ringtone. That's it. So this is a simple explanation about cellular telephony. So here there is a diagram that describes the architecture of mobile system. On the left side, one car and mobile handset is displayed. So how those devices or a particular device, a mobile communication hardware will be there in that particular car, or the mobile phone is communicating with the base station that we will see here. Suppose a user, he is located in any cells. The geographical separation by using cells. On the top right hand side, the cell structure is specified. So hexagonal shaped cells are there. Each and every cell is having a base station. It's a base transceiver station or base transceiver station. So the transmission and receiving of signals carried out at a cell by using a tower. When a user makes a call or he receives his ringtone, then will be communicated with the nearby base transceiver station using electromagnetic waves or radio frequency waves. In our diagram, there are two base transceiver stations. Suppose two users are there, one in the first base transceiver station and the second user or the destination user is at the second base transceiver station. How they are communicating? From a user at the first BTS, he is making a call to the second user at the second BTS, then there will be a base station controller. BSC stands for base station controller. So the communication switching sender is base station controller. The user's call from first base transceiver station or BTS will be connected to the second cell's BTS is being handled by base station controller. So how many cells are there? Each and every cell is having a base transceiver station. All these transceiver stations are connected to a base station controller. So likewise, voice call communications are handled. Suppose data transfer is performed, internet communication is being handled. In that particular case, there is another module known as mobile switching center. So a mobile switching center is a core part of the GSM or CDMA network system. It is a control center of a network switching center. So here data transfer, data communication or internet communication is taken place. So the laptops are connected or directly communicated with the MSCs or other base transceiver stations where the requested client is being located. So this is the simple architecture of a mobile system, how a mobile call is carried out or voice communication is taken place or data communication is taken place. So now we are going to discuss types of telecommunication networks. So voice networks are there. Predominant communication and analog data is carried out in a voice network. Then data network is there. Two different types of telecommunication networks, voice network and data network. So in voice network, the communication using voice or analog data is taken place. On the other hand, in data network, text, document, picture, video, audio, sound first coded to bit stream, etc. All these are transmitted in the form of digital information or digital transmission is being performed there in data network. Computer networks, controller area network, local area network, wide area network. So all these things are discussed in the computer network class. Components of wireless communication system. So here transmitter, receiver, filter, antenna, amplifier and mixers. These are the 6 components that we are going to discuss in this class. So the first thing is transmitter, the second one is receiver, filter, antenna, amplifier and mixer. Transmitter. The input to a wireless transmitter may be voice, video, data or other type of signal meant to be transmitted to one or more distant receivers called baseband signal. The basic function of the transmitter is to modulate or encode several baseband signals onto a high frequency carrier signal. A modulated high frequency signal can be radiated and propagated more effectively and helps make more efficient use of the radio frequency or RF signal, radio frequency spectrum, than what we direct transmission of the individual baseband signals can achieve. is the device for transmitting your audio or video to the communication network. For example, you are talking with your friend. There will be a transmitter, that is a microphone. That microphone is attached to the transmitter. So the voice or your sound is recorded or accepted or sensed using the microphone, and that is being transmitted to the network system. Then only it will be received by the user on the other end. So the receiver is also there. The receiver receives the modulated signals and reverses the functions of the transmitter, and thereby recovers the transmitted baseband signal. The antenna of the receiver is usually capable of receiving the electromagnetic waves radiated from many sources over a relatively broad frequency range. For the reception of the signals at the receiver, there is an antenna attached to the device. The function of the antenna is to convert the electric signal from a transmitter to a propagating electromagnetic RF wave or radio frequency wave, or vice versa. In a transceiver, a transmitter and a receiver is co-located for supporting full duplex communication. The same antenna is shared by both the transmitter and receiver. For sending as well as receiving the signals, the same antenna is being shared between transmitter and receiver. There are mainly two types of antennas that are used on wireless network. First one is omnidirectional and the second one is directional. Omnidirectional antennas can receive and transmit over 360 degrees. This can be compared to a light bulb that emits light all over. In contrast, a directional antenna is similar to flashlight, which focuses light in some direction. So that is the difference between omnidirectional and directional antennas. Filters are key components present in all wireless transmitters and receivers. There are different uses of the filter. Filters are used to reject interfering signals lying outside the operating band of receivers and transmitters. These also reject unwanted noise signals received or generated by the amplifier circuitry. Amplifiers. An amplifier amplifies the strength, usually voltage, of a signal. Important specification of an amplifier include power gain and the noise figure. The noise figure of an amplifier is a measure of how much noise is added to the amplified signal by the amplifier circuitry. This is most critical in the front end of the receiver, where the input signal is very weak, and it is desirable to minimize the noise added by the receiver circuitry. Therefore, it is necessary that the first amplifier in the receiver circuit has as low a noise figure as possible. Then comes the mixer, that is the last component of our mobile communication system. A mixer is a typical device that is typically used to achieve frequency conversion at the transmitters and receivers. Frequency conversion is required because it is advantageous to transmit signals at a higher frequency. This is achieved by modulating a carrier waveform using the original baseband frequency. When a baseband signal is mixed appropriately with a high frequency on a carrier, it can be easily and efficiently radiated and becomes less susceptible to noises and attenuation. So these are the components of a wireless communication system. A wireless communication system is built from all these different types of or various types of basic components: transmitter, receiver, filter, antenna, amplifier, and mixers. So these are the components of a wireless communication system. Thank you.